Before I get into the story, I would like to say that this post is a continuation of some previous posts I made. If you haven't read the previous posts yet, I suggest that you go read them first. Now, for the story. I woke up and knew that I needed to start my hunt. If Michael was smart, which I know he is, he will leave town before the heat with the police gets any hotter. I checked the notebook and cell phone I got from Henry. The cell phone didn't have his SIM card at all, so there was nothing on it that I could use to find Michael. The notebook had a few pages ripped out, so I got a pen and scratched across the page. I could see that the previous page read, Michael, black Toyota Camry, and then a license plate number. I saw Michael escape in a black Toyota Camry, so I knew that this information could be trusted. I thought a lot about Michael shooting Henry. It seemed that he was trying to eliminate anyone who could give me unwanted information. Immediately, I thought about Maria and knew that he might come for her sooner or later. I immediately headed over to Maria's hotel room. She was my last hope on getting the drop on Michael. I knew that if Michael knew where she was, he would try to come and kill her. So I just needed to trick him into getting to her. As soon as I got to her hotel room, I asked if she had seen Michael following her attack. No, she wrote down. Have you left the hotel room since you checked in? She circled the word no. I looked around the room to make sure that there weren't any bugs. This could very well be my last shot at catching Michael, and it is ruined if he sees it coming. I had an idea. I asked if she had her car keys with her. She wrote down that they were at her house. Her car had been at her house ever since Michael attacked her. Maybe Michael had put a GPS tracker on it before his attack. It seemed like a long shot at first, but it will make sense knowing how crafty he had been. Maria gave me her house keys and told me the password to the burglar alarm. I drove to Maria's house and opened the door. I knew that there was close to no chance that Michael had been hiding out there, but I drew my gun anyways and checked every corner. After satisfying my paranoia, I got Maria's car keys from the key rack. First, I checked under the car. No tracker. Then, I checked the car's interior. Still, no tracker. When I popped open the hood and checked there, I began to smile from ear to ear. Right next to the engine, there was a tracker. I closed up the hood, took the keys, and drove to Maria's place. I needed her help if I wanted to bait Michael out into the open. I drove back over to her hotel room and gave her the keys. I explained to her that I needed her help in order to bait Michael out into the open. I asked her to drive her car to the diner where I followed him the first night and eat something. I gave her directions to Michael's secret house and told her to drive there after she finished her food. She seemed frightened, but I promised her that nothing would happen to her. I drove her over to her house and gave her the keys. I told her to wait 10 minutes and text me if anything happens. I then drove out to the diner and parked my rental car at the pharmacy across the street and watched with my binoculars. Maria got there a little over 10 minutes after I parked, and I was discreetly watching from across the street. About 20 minutes after Maria arrived, I saw Michael's car drive into the diner's parking lot and park. I was scared that Maria would make a mistake and lead on that it was a trap, but I needed to trust her. I parked my rental car at the gas station that I had mentioned in my previous updates and walked into the woods. I found a nice area so that I could see the house and the path leading up to it. I waited for a little over an hour, just waiting for them to arrive, but then I saw Maria's car driving down the path. At first I couldn't see Michael's car, but after a short wait, I saw his car about 20 meters away from the house. Maria had turned the car off, stepped out of the car with her crutches, moved over to the door, and started fiddling with the doorknob. Michael's car stopped. He got out and began walking towards the house. I started moving to get closer so I could take a clear shot. When I felt confident, I took the safety off my gun and took my aim. He just kept walking. I held my breath and counted to 3 in my head. 1, 2, 3. I pulled the trigger. Time itself slowed down. After what had been a fraction of a second, but felt like eons, I saw the bullet hit him in the back. He fell to the floor, shouting in pain. I walked over to him. I saw him reach into his jacket, but I shot him in the shoulder. I reached into his jacket and grabbed a handgun from his shirt pocket. I took a few steps back and dropped his gun at my feet. We both looked at each other silently for a moment. Then he spoke.
I guess you win.
He said, and he started to chuckle. I guess I win, I replied.
You gonna kill me, or you gonna turn me in?
He asked. I'm going to kill you.
Well, what are you waiting for? I hope you weren't expecting me to beg.
I wasn't.
Then get on with it,
he said with a straight face. I looked at him for a moment, then said, while chuckling, I guess I'm smarter than you. His face turned into a scowl. He looked enraged. I aimed my gun and shot him in the forehead. His body dropped to the floor, motionless. I walked over to Maria and told her to go back to her hotel room. She nodded her head and drove off. I went over to Michael's body and just examined him for a moment. I closed his still open eyes and loaded him to the backseat of his car. Then I picked up the shell casings that my gun had left. I pulled off Michael's shirt and stuffed the end of it in the gas tank. I pulled out my lighter and lit the other end on fire. I started walking back towards the car I rented and heard the explosion behind me. I decided to keep my rental car for a day and return it tomorrow. So I drove over to the diner that I followed Michael the first day and got some dinner. I couldn't stop thinking about him, and I don't think I'll stop anytime soon. I drove back to my hotel room to spend my last night there. I may post another update if something interesting happens, but for now, I won. Hey guys, Psychotic Maniac here. Hope you guys enjoyed this series, A Private Eye's Troubling Discovery. I know that I wasn't able to upload the parts of the story as frequently as I wanted to. Life got in the way. I was transitioning from jobs at that time when I started the series. I started saving up for college, which I'm going to start in January. And if you want to know what I'm going to be going to school for, I'm going to be doing a double major with mechanical engineering and engineering design and music industry / production. I know, a weird combo, but that's what I want to do. So yeah, life was in the way, so I wasn't able to upload as frequently as I wanted to. But now I have a lot more free time, so I'm going to be able to upload a lot more frequently as I want to, according to my schedule. Some of you guys might be asking yourself, yo psych, what's your schedule? My schedule when I started, it was going to be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and it's still going to be that way. The topic of each day is going to vary. I'm not going to upload the same topic for each day every week because it gets repetitive and I don't like repetition. I like to mix it up. I like to keep it fresh, I have more free time now, so I'm going to be uploading longer stories more frequently for you guys. Longer stories are better, in my opinion, because you get to play the video, pop in your earphones, or play it in the loudspeaker if you're driving somewhere, or if you just want to listen on your speakers. You can do it. You can. And you can also do other things. You do your chores, do some sketches, do some art, do your homework. Like I said, if you're on a commute to work, you could play the videos and just listen to them on the way there, or if you're going on a long road trip, you can listen to them on the way. So yeah, I'm going to be uploading a lot more frequently because I have more time in my hands now. So yeah, if you like this video, smash the shit out of that like button. destroy that motherfucker and show some love for your favorite psychotic maniac. And also, if you're not subscribed, what the hell are you doing? Subscribe already. Join the Psycho Squad. Become one of us. Again guys, thanks for watching. Be safe. And remember, everyone is a tad bit insane.